Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you are new here, and I was just about to go to bed tonight. I put on my hoodie, threw my hair up, and then I sat down in front of all my makeup. And if you were anything like me, that is a bad sign because I will immediately pick up a brush and start playing around. That's exactly what happened tonight. So I did one eye just kind of playing around, and then I turned on my camera for you guys and filmed the rest of this look. I just did a smoky eye with a halo effect, and then I used purple as my transition color just to give it a little something and make it a really fun look. Also, I did use this new Maybelline Dream Cushion foundation, which you guys will see in this video, but before you guys watch the rest, I just want to say I am in love with this. This is my first time using it, and it is so beautiful. I love Maybelline foundations anyway. They just really work for my skin, but the fact that this is so easy just to dip your brush in and apply all over your face, it was so easy and it blended like a dream, and I'm just in love with this. So if you guys like this look or just want to watch me play in some makeup before I go to bed, just keep watching. So before the video, I already went ahead and primed my eyes just using the Maybelline Master Concealer all over my eyelids. And then I'm going into this Coastal Scents number 26 Shadow and Blush palette, and I'm picking up that purple color just on the Coastal Scents BR-C-N06 brush. Any fluffy brush will do, and I start by just applying the shadow on the inner and outer corners very, very lightly. You can see that I'm holding the brush really far back on the handle because I don't want to apply too much pressure at all. And the best way to just create that transition that's going to be nice and light and feathery is to really go in with a small amount of product, and then as you see and as you become more comfortable with the placement and everything, you can go ahead and add more product to really build up the color that you want. But to start out, I really like to keep it nice and light. On the inner corner, I am going to take it a little bit above my crease this time because I'm creating a halo effect. It's going to make my eyes look nice and round so I can get away with having really high corners. And also take your time with this. Like I said, build up the color. You don't want to go straight in with color that you can't blend out or anything. So you really just want to keep it nice and light and easy. Then I'm going to be going in with a darker brown color from the Morphe palette. This is the Morphe M350, which just stands for matte. And I'm going to be taking this on a smaller blending brush. This is kind of like a pencil brush, but it is a little bit fluffier and blends out the color better than a pencil brush. So I'm just going to be using this to really pack on that color, and you can already see how intense that makes it. So I'm going to be doing the same thing and also keeping it lower than the first transition color because we do want that purple to act as the transition, and we want it to fade into a nice gradient darker shade as it gets closer to the lash line. So I'm just using this on the inner and outer corner, and also looking down, you want it to look really pretty, and then whenever you look up in the mirror, you also want to make sure that it's still looking the way that you planned it to look. So definitely change your angles to make sure that the shadow is blending well and just complements the eye. Then also switching out to a blending brush, I'm just going to make sure that all those shades are blended together. This did not have any excess product or anything on it. It just was a nice clean brush to blend them out and make sure that they are fading into each other nicely. And as you can see, I get really high on that inner corner, but we'll go back and kind of clean that up a little bit. Here you can see I'm already kind of cleaning it up just using a big Morphe concealer brush. This is the M17 brush, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this brush because it is so densely packed. It kind of acts like a beauty blender, but allows you to get into the small crevices that a beauty blender can't really reach too well. So I really love it. And then I'm going to be using this Kathleen Lights and Morphe palette collection, and I'm just going to be taking that same nice dense small brush, and I'm going to be using a black shadow. Any black shadow will do. If you have another black shadow, that will do as well. I'm just using this to really deepen in that inner corner and outer corner. This really pulls the look together for me because it creates that really, really stark contrast between the nice light purple and the really dark inner and outer corner, which is going to give it that halo effect. And then of course, blending it all out again. This whole look probably in total required 20 minutes of blending together, seriously. And then I'm going to be taking this Morphe 350S palette, which just stands for shimmer, and I'm going to be taking that lightest first shade just on a flat Wet n Wild brush. And as you can see, I sprayed it with some charged water. Honestly, if you get your brush wet with a little bit of water from the sink, just put some water in a cap or something, dip it in there. Just anything that will hold that glitter and keep it on there. And then I'm taking this on the center of my eye to create that halo effect, and I'm going to bring it all the way up to my brow bone because I kind of wanted it to be like a light beam going all the way up. So I wanted to just bring the shimmer all the way up as well. Going back in with the brush, I'm just blending out those edges as well. Then to line my lash line, I'm actually going to go in on my lash line with the Urban Decay 24/7 liner in Perversion. Perversion is just the color. And I'm actually going to line my lash line and my waterline with this and then curl my lashes. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Luminous Carbon Black Mascara just on my top lashes, just to get them ready for some falsies, because I am going to pop on falsies. I just want to make them blend into each other and make it look like I'm not really wearing fake lashes. So this is just going to prep them for that. And then I'm using my Ardell Wispies lashes, which are just my favorite just because they are so incredibly easy to pop on. It is crazy. They are so easy and they don't feel like anything on the eye. The back of these e.l.f. tweezers are perfect for applying lashes because you can really get in there and push them onto your lash line. And then once you have your lashes on, you want to go back in and fill in with any purple shadow or any dark shadow that you feel needed, because whenever you do have the lashes on, it is going to change your eye shape a little bit. So you really just want to go and make sure that all the transition color is being able to seen and the black is being able to seen. Just intensify anything that you feel. Then I'm going to be using this concealer by Maybelline. This is also what I used to prime my eyes. This is just the Maybelline Master Concealer on that same Morphe M173 brush. I'm also obsessed with this brush. Like I said, it literally acts like a beauty blender, but you can get into all those tight places way more easily. You can't see any streaks with this. It is literally just the best brush for concealer. So I'm just concealing my eyes. I could have gone in and did my foundation first as well, but I just did it this way. It doesn't really matter what order you do your makeup, whatever you like. So I'm just going to go in and set my under eyes with that translucent powder and then wipe away all the excess. Then using this really tiny M508 Morphe brush on the inner and outer corner, I'm going to go in with that purple shade, and I'm just going to leave the center bare because I'm going to bring that halo effect onto the bottom lash line as well. I love this little Morphe brush because you can get really tight to your lash line, and it's just perfect. It's so easy. And then I decided to line my inner center waterline with this Maybelline just cream eye pencil. And then I'm going to also use that 24/7 Urban Decay pencil just to get on the inner and outer corners. Like I said, I'm going to be making that halo effect on the bottom as well, and this will just help intensify it. I'm going to take a little bit of black shadow on the inner and outer corners as well, just to intensify that black liner and to blend out the bottom lash line. So basically I'm just connecting the liner with the purple shadow with this transition black shadow. And then I decided to set the center part with just a nude shadow, but I will go back in later and cover it up with that shimmer shadow. I'm going to take that first really light shimmer shade from the Kathleen Lights palette just on a Y22 brush. I'm just going to apply this on the inner corners and right in the center of my eye where I put that nude shade. I just wanted to bring some sparkle and shimmer down there. So I'm just going to be applying that to the center bottom lash line as well. My favorite mascara for the lower lashes is this CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. As always, I'm just going to be using this on my bottom lashes because it really holds on to the small fibers of the eyelashes and makes your eyelashes nice and long, which I love. Then to move on to the face, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Poreless Primer. This has been my favorite for a while now. It's just really nice and silicone-y and leaves your skin nice and smooth whenever you're applying foundation. I really love it, but you do have to kind of wait for it to sink into your skin for a second or it will be like really slippery, but overall it's a really good primer. Then my foundation that I'm using today, this is my first time using it, and I'm going to be using this Maybelline Dream Cushion in Classic Ivory number 20. And I'm just using an e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush to stipple this on. I will say that this formula is super dewy, which I love, but I did find that it was a nice light to medium coverage on me. I didn't really build it up too much, but what I did see, like just straight away applying it, it did not cover really any of my freckles. It just made my skin look nice and even and healthy, which I love. I'm not complaining about it. I really think it's an everyday, I think it would be perfect just for everyday use because it's nice and light. It makes you look like you're not wearing makeup. Just makes your skin look so healthy and dewy. and I really love it. With this look though, because it is a nice glam look, I would have liked something a little bit more full coverage, but it will totally do for this video, and I did end up loving the formula, so I'm not complaining about this foundation. I just wish I would have put a more full coverage foundation with it. And then because this coverage was a little bit light, I'm going to be going back in with that concealer that I used underneath my eyes, just on a little brush, just to cover up any blemishes that I have. And then I also went down my nose to highlight it, but it didn't really highlight that much, to be honest. So you can skip that step you can just skip that step. And then I blended that out just with a Real Technique sponge and my finger as I feel fit. Totally, you can use your fingers. The warmth from your finger actually allows the concealer to blend in a little bit better. So fingers work fine for dotting in concealer, whatever you have on hand. And then to set my whole face, I'm just going to be using this Maybelline Fit Me powder. And this is the Set and Smooth formula. And my shade is 120. I'm just going to be using this on an e.l.f. blush brush, but any just like powder brush will do. I'm just going to be wiping this across my whole face because I did say that that foundation is nice and dewy. It is also a little bit slippery on the skin. I feel like it needs to be set even though I have dry skin. And I'm going to be using just this huge Morphe M527 brush and my Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. Love this bronzer. I use it all the time. This is a nice big fluffy brush, so I'm just going to be bronzing pretty much my whole entire face just to add some color back in. Also, I bring this down my neck a little bit just to color match my face to my neck and make sure that they both blend together. Then I'm going to be using the sculpting brush from Real Techniques to apply my Shade and Lights contour palette. I just take the bottom two. One is Shadow Play, and then I can't remember the name of the other one, but just the two lighter ones, not the darkest one. And I apply this to the hollows of my cheeks, and then I blend upwards from there to really lift my cheekbones. Then I go back in and just kind of blend some of that out with using my foundation brush and then also this big bronzer brush. I also use this brush to contour my nose, but it is really too thick for that. I found that it just made my nose look really wide and I did not like it, but I will show you guys how to cover that up. If you do experience something like this trying to contour your nose, go in, blend it out, and then you can use some translucent powder just on a Real Technique sponge or something to really cover up that area that was too thick of the brow. So you want to just cover up the sides. That really made your nose look more wide than it was. But ultimately, I recommend that Morphe brush that I always use. I really honestly cannot remember the name right now. I just totally blanked on it. But I will link it down below or list it down below so you guys know what brush I'm talking about. But it's really just nice and flat and gets your nose perfect. Then I'm going to be going into my Makeup Revolution palette. I'm taking that mauve shade on a Morphe E4 brush, and I'm just applying this to my cheeks. I didn't want to apply too much shadow because this eye look is so intense. You don't want to look like a clown with blush and intense eyes. It can get too much really fast, especially using a purple shadow on the eye. You don't have like purple and red right next to each other, so I just use a light hand with blush whenever I do a makeup look like this. Then I sprayed my whole face with charged water just to set all of that powder and to make it blend nicely. Also, this will prime for our highlight, which I'm applying right now, which is just the Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. Whenever you first set your face with a water or anything, it allows this highlight to really adhere to it and become nice and bright and noticeable. This is a really bright, noticeable highlight anyway, but the water that I put on first just really attracts that pigment, I guess, or just really makes it reflective, I guess is a better way to say that. Then I'm just using this Essence highlighter as well just to cover it up. This is totally excess. You don't need to do this. I just did it because it was right in front of me and it looked pretty. I was deciding on what lip color to do, and I decided to go with this lip color right here, which is just a nice mauve shade. I am not sure what brand this is. I can tell you that it is called Skinny Dip, and it does say 3016-W, and it is a nice liquid lipstick. I got this from Walmart, and it came in a pack that had a little glitter like pot as well that you're supposed to apply on top. I don't use the glitter pot at all. I do use it sometimes for shadow, but I don't use it over the lipstick. But overall, this liquid lip is so beautiful. It kind of has a very liquidy formula going on, but it dries really nice and matte. It doesn't dry sticky. It doesn't get crumbly. It really feels like there's nothing on your lips at all whenever you wear it, which I personally love. That's the kind of liquid lipsticks I wear the most just because they're no fuss and they stay on all day. So I'm not sure what brand this is, but it's really nice and beautiful, and this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it being a little bit different. It's not an everyday makeup look, but it is a nice fun tutorial, and it's really easy. Honestly, just take your time blending and you'll be fine. I hope that you guys liked watching this video, and I will see you at my next video. Again, don't forget to subscribe for more content coming below. See you guys soon.